Hello, friends. Welcome to Muller Academy. Hope you are enjoying your preparation. We were talking about air pollution in our last class, where we were discussing class 12 biology chapter environmental issue. So, today we will discuss about water pollution. So, let's start our class. Before going into the details of the chapter, I would briefly talk about the statistics of water pollution. So we all know that approximately 80% of wastewater is released into environment without treatment. And second point is that the plastic pollution is the main source of pollution in oceans. In 2019, WHO estimated that at least 2 billion people lack access to safely managed drinking water services. In developing countries, up to 90% of industrial waste is dumped untreated into rivers or streams and making them polluted. Oil spills are major source of water pollution with several large spills occurring each year. In US, over 10 million people get sick each year from waterborne diseases such as E. coli or typhi, Salmonella typhi. So, with this information, let's start water pollution. So, water pollution is major environmental issue that affect both freshwater and marine ecosystem, and all organisms live depended on that system. So, pollution is contamination of water bodies such as river, lakes, ocean, and groundwater with substances that are harmful to the environment and to the human health. So, what are the sources of water pollution? So, industrial activities such as manufacturing, mining, or oil drilling, agriculture practices, including the use of pesticides and fertilizers, waste from household, cities, including sewage and runoff from the uh, streets, leaks and spills from the transportation and storage of hazardous material. These are the different sources of water pollution. So, what is the prevention and solution of water pollution? So, prevention of water for the prevention of water pollution, government can also implement regulation to limit industrial and agriculture runoff and promote clean water practices. So, prevention should be multifaceted approach that involves individual, businessmen, and government working together. So, to overcome the water pollution, the government of India has passed Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974 to safeguard water resources. So we should know what that 1.1% of impurity in the water will make it unfit for the human use. And what kind of impurities are they could be impurities like suspended solids such as sand, silt, clay, colloidal materials such as fecal matter, bacteria, cloth or paper fibers, dissolved materials such as example nutrients, nitrate, ammonia, phosphate. So these kind of impurity will together make the water unfit for human consumption. So let's understand this. Like when a sewage discharge go to river, what happen? Like you can see in this graph that once there is a discharge of the sewage from, you can see in the left hand side corner, that discharge of the sewage will lead to the decreased dissolved oxygen, because when sewage is discharged in the water body, that sewage contains lot of organic components in the form of fecal matter or other contamination. So what happens then when this sewage comes in the water body, there are many microorganisms which decompose these organic materials, and for doing so they need oxygen. So there will be huge scarcity of oxygen when sewage is discharged to the water body. But gradually once these microorganisms they complete their task, then this dissolved oxygen again comes to replenish. And once there at the time of discharge of the sewage, when there is a minimum amount of dissolved oxygen in the water body, there will be more BOD. What is BOD? BOD is biological oxygen demand. So let's understand the BOD. So BOD is a measure of amount of oxygen consumed by microorganisms as they decompose organic matter in water body. So understand? So this is amount of water oxygen consumed by microorganism. So it is the BOD is expressed in mg per liter, and it also indicates that high BOD indicates that there is a high organic pollution in the water body and there is a low dissolved oxygen. So many times question has been asked that the one kind of water body has a very high BOD, so whether it is contaminated or a clean water body. So if the BOD is high, then there is a high organic pollution, so that water body is polluted. So this kind of question, they are repeated many times in all of the exams. So BOD level are good indicator of health of aquatic ecosystem. This point should be remembered, that the BOD level are the indicator of for the health of aquatic system. If BOD is less, that system is clean. If BOD is high, the system is polluted. So due to high pollution, there is the enrichment of nutrients also in the water body, because with the pollution or contamination, the lots of dissolved nutrients also come in the water body. Due to that, due to large amount of nutrient in the water body, the number of planktonic algae increases, and these plankton algae make to form algal bloom. So in the right hand side, you can see the picture of a worse algal bloom in the Lake Erie. So algal bloom can cause deterioration of water quality and fish mortality. So when the algal bloom will be more, there will be more decomposition of that algae also. Then hence again there will be the less dissolved oxygen, and when there will be low amount of oxygen dissolved in the water, the marine organism they die. So these algal blooms are poisonous also. One more example of increased enrichment of the water body is the introduction of invasive species. So many of you have seen the water hyacinth. So water hyacinth is botanical name of water hyacinth is Ecornia crassipes. So it is also known as terror of Bengal, because this plant was introduced in India for their flower. So here in a picture you can see that these plant have very beautiful flower. So this plant was introduced from outside country in the India for this beautiful flower, but this plant was an invasive species. You will learn more about invasive species in other classes of your ecology. So what is in brief, I will tell you that invasive species are uh, plants which outgrows in number and then occupy whole of the land for themselves. So similarly Econia, they just outgrow in number and in water body, and they create imbalance in the ecosystem dynamics of the water body. And this why it happens due to enrichment of nutrient in the water body. So once there is a contamination of a water body, so they along with many nutrients, many hazardous chemical also comes from the industrial waste or some from hospital waste. So any from many of places, the hazardous chemical also come. So they also again make a problem for the organisms living in the water. So one of that is biomagnification. So let's understand what is biomagnification. So biomagnification refers to the increase in concentration of toxic substances as they move up the food chain. For example, DDT, a pesticide which accumulate in the fat cell of organism. As a result, organism higher up the food chain that consume these contaminated organism will have higher level of DDT in their body. So, the biomagnification is the enrichment of poisonous substance in through the trophic level. So once the organism advances to the trophic level, the amount of the hazardous component in the body of the organism increases. So biomagnification you can learn from this picture, where you can see that the amount of DDT in the water body was 0.003 part per, per billion. But once it is ascending to the trophic level, the DDT amount in the fish eating bird in the top in the trophic level is 25 ppm part per million. So this amount of DDT in this fish eating birds increases significantly. So this is the biomagnification. So the example of biomagnification is, apart from DDT, is DDT in food chain, mercury in fish, PCB, which is polychlorinated biphenol in marine animals, lead in egg birds. So in the fourth example, you can see lead in the bird eggs. So once this uh, lead comes in the in birds through biomagnification, what they do, they may they like the eggs of the bird become very shallow. So they just don't hatch properly. So the bird, their eggs get bad. So this is also very serious condition. Like pesticide in songbirds, persistent organic pollutant in arctic animals, these are the example of biomagnification. So now come to the other topic which is very important in water pollution is eutrophication. So eutrophication is a natural aging of lake by nutrient enrichment of its water. So what happens when, due to pollution, lot of dirty water comes, there will be enrichment of lake, in which due to nutrient enrichment of the lake, and due to this nutrient enrichment, the lake's fertility increases, and the organic remain of plant and animal inside the lake becomes deposit in the lake bottom. And the eutrophication, is a serious problem. So human activities are the main cause of accelerated eutrophication. Then, due to agriculture activities and the discharge of fertilizer or pesticides, also leads to the eutrophication. So, what are the effect of eutrophication? Eutrophication can cause a range of negative environmental effect, including algal bloom, which deplete the water of dissolve oxygen and harm aquatic life, and then changes in the type of species in the water body, then formation of dead zone where the water is too low in oxygen to support most aquatic life. So these are the some very bad effect of eutrophication. Now in NCRT, one more thing is, we have to cover that what is the case, which is case study of integrated wastewater treatment. So here they have mentioned one story of a Ar- Arcata town in California. In this town, there was a lot of pollution, water pollution. So what they did, they with the collaboration of Humboldt State University, the scientists of this universities and the people of this city, they together they develop a series of uh, six connected marshes over a 60 hectare of marshland. And what they did, these marshes neutralizes and absorbs the pollutants from the wastewater, and then water flows through the marshes. When the water flows through the marshes, they get purified naturally. So they did this activity and they got very good results. And these group of citizen also known as foam, which are friends of arcata marsh. So with this I will stop this chapter, and water pollution is completed. I will again come with the next topic of environmental issues in the next class. Till then, stay tuned and please do like, share, comment, subscribe my channel. Thank you.